This is what they tell you. So here's how the pyramids were built. So first one is called the ramp theory, then the water shaft. These are all suggestions and
Nobody
theories.
knows how it was built.
What is your theory?
My theory is that ramps don't do it. If you have a straight ramp, which is leading up to the Great Pyramid, if it's going to carry blocks right up to what will be the top of the Great Pyramid, no gang of workers can haul a 20-ton block up a slope that's steeper than 10 degrees. So you're looking at a ramp which is going to extend roughly a mile out into the desert. Furthermore, that ramp is going to have to bear the load of very heavy megaliths to be carried up. Therefore, the ramp itself has got to be extremely strong in order to carry that load. And the problem is, where's the ramp? Where's the remains? There's nothing there on the Giza Plateau to suggest that. And so that's why this idea of spiral ramps has been proposed. Various other suggestions have been made. But the truth is, as everybody will admit, is that these are all theories and that nobody knows how the Great Pyramid was done. I get it. There is no doubt that large numbers of strong men can haul very large blocks of stone on the level. They can if they're on a horizontal surface. There are even images from ancient Egypt with hieroglyphs which show a kind of sled-like device with a very large statue on it. We might guess its weight at 50 tons, being hauled along by teams of workers. And on the front of the sledge, an individual is standing there pouring water in front of the runners of the sled to make the sand slippery underneath it. And that would work. That would absolutely work horizontally. But the problem then becomes how you get those gigantic blocks much higher up in the pyramid. And I don't think the ramp theory works at all. For example, in the so-called King's Chamber, it is roofed by a series of granite blocks, and those granite blocks don't come from Giza, by the way. They were brought from 500 kilometers to the south. It's roofed by a series of granite blocks, and those granite blocks weigh about 70 tons each. And then there are other chambers above the King's Chamber, which most people don't get into. I've been into. And there's 5 chambers. They're called the relieving chambers, and each one of them is also floored and roofed by 70-ton granite blocks. And to get that massive collection of 70-ton blocks, about 300 feet into the air, to put them where they are now, is not going to be done with wet sand, and it's not going to be done with sledges. To do it with ramps, I think, is extremely unlikely.
Relieving chambers?
Yeah.
You said there's 5 of them?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. The top one is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. I've been in all of them. The one at the very top, under that gabled roof, that is one of the reasons why Egyptologists feel confident in saying that it was the work of Khufu, because in that top chamber there is what is known as a royal cartouche. The name of each pharaoh was surrounded by a kind of oval device called a cartouche, and in that cartouche is roughly written the name Khufu. And this is considered to be a quarry mark that was put on the block at the time the block was quarried and was never cleared away. Well, that is actually Khufu's cartouche, I think. But what you want to see is the one in the relieving chamber, because that is the single piece of writing that Egyptologists rely on to attribute the whole of the Great Pyramid to Khufu. There's a whole other argument. How was that first discovered in the modern era? It was discovered by a British explorer called Howard Vyse. And Howard Vyse in the mid-1800s was a vandal of the worst kind. He blew a massive vertical hole in the southern side of the Great Pyramid, just scarred it, tore it to pieces with dynamite, and he dynamited his way into those relieving chambers as well. Now, Howard Vyse was suffering from real serious financial difficulties. He'd not made a significant discovery. He was £10,000 in debt, which was a really bad thing to be in the 1800s. And he had to come up with an amazing discovery. So there have been suggestions, which Egyptologists do not accept. There have been suggestions that Howard Vyse actually forged that cartouche, and he put it there in order to...
Just to come out and say, here's what I found.
Here's what I found.
Hey, this is why it's worth funding my next project.
Exactly, and it made his career.
How much fraud is there in archaeologists have to make up something for them to get credibility in their writing so they can sell more and get another raise or ask for more money when they're giving lectures and all this other stuff?
I would like to say not too much. I would like to say that. There is, of course, some fraud in archaeology. Human beings are human beings, and it can happen. But archaeology is a profession that polices itself pretty well. If a fraudulent claim is made, it is going to be exposed pretty soon. And I think particularly around world-famous monuments like the Giza monuments, I would be very surprised to see much example of fraud.